It's time for Myth of the Week.
Alright, I really appreciate everyone for the participation this week. I had a great time doing it. I hit 60,000. I'll let you cover that if you want, James.
I'm going to. When you got a box up in the ceiling, the box, just go over to 314.27, it says outlet boxes. Just like I'm connecting a ceiling fan, a light, or anything there. That is the box. That's the outlet box, okay? And that outlet box is sized based on what? 314.16 B1 through B5. That's how you go about sizing it. And it says that those conductors going over are connecting to the outlet box, which is in what? The ceiling, okay? And, you know, to say, oh, no, it's just a point, that doesn't work. I mean, you know, saying the outlet's inside. But yet, if I go look at the definition of receptacle outlet, it says it's the outlet. It doesn't even say box. It says it's the outlet where the receptacles are installed.
Sure.
I mean, I'm just going what the code says. You know, if the code making panels want to rearrange everything and do a different explanation, that's fine. But they're going to have to change that definition of receptacle outlet, or they're going to have to change what an outlet is. And I'll give you an example, one more example before we go into the myth of the week. Don Gennari, he called me out, Mr. Research himself, and was going to prove me wrong, blah, blah, blah. And he basically said, where the branch circuits connect to or will be connected, and wait for this, the utilization equipment terminals or conductors. And guess what? They said that public input didn't provide any clarity or usability whatsoever and rejected it. Well, I thought if it connected to the equipment terminals, that should solve everything. But no, they didn't accept that. Why didn't they accept it? You know, I just leave it at that. You know, I'm posting things showing you what the code making panels voted on. And this is what they're saying, and they rejected what he said. You know, when this first started happening, didn't we hear, oh, well, Don Gennari said, we're going to get clarification on this, show y'all you don't know what you're talking about. Sure. Well, that didn't happen. So we'll see what happens. But the definition of outlet will have to change in order for that to take place. And they just basically told him no.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing, Gopher fan. I thought all my public inputs were getting rejected. Guess not. But I think it's gonna be a really fierce battle on that one because, you know, like that's gonna be really controversial because basically you're gonna be telling Elon Musk that his chargers are killing kids, you know, and I don't think he's gonna take kindly to that. You know, I don't think he's going to fall behind that false narrative of safety. And I think he's going to have to see some kind of statistics of, I don't see any maintenance men coming in and working on EVSE without having it disconnected from the circuit.
Well, I'll tell you this.
DJ in the house. He's like, dude, did you hear the Jaws music start? Dun, 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 dun.
He's right. The dude is trolling. You know, because we're giving all the good examples. You know, he's just making statements what he thinks, but I'm giving you examples throughout the code where there's a problem. And he doesn't do that. You know, I'm telling you, go read the manufacturer's instructions. And of course, it must be, well, you know what? Gopher fan, I'll bet that is, might be Jeremy. He's from Minnesota, isn't he?
Think it is Weed Man.
It may be one of his alts.
Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, no, that's not an alt. You can't say that because, like, I'm the only one that has alts and the multiple personalities and the mental problem.
Oh yeah.
But all right, we're in myth of the week. We gotta stay on topic. So awesome! Thanks a lot for everyone joining us this week. I had a lot of participation from Nat King Code. This is just a regular power pack driver. Probably would not be compliant under the 2020 NEC because they put some kind of a Horizon basic. They had an actual date of January 1st, 2022 to make these all eliminate the gray conductor. But that's just a manufacturer thing. That's not necessarily for us out in the field installing these. Now, I wouldn't want to have Daniel J over there, installing these and happen to re-identify the gray on every single fixture. That would just be a waste of time. So I would tell Daniel, you know what, we're going to order purple and pink, we're going to pull it. And the myth this week is actually true. You are permitted to use purple and gray conductors for your 0 to 10. But there's a lot of different things that come into this that I have a problem with. And we had a comment come in.
Yeah, I agree.
So what we run into out in the field is that you're gonna have 2 gray conductors in this junction box. You're gonna have whatever size for like your line voltage. Now, granted, a lot of times we use a gray color stripe. Like we'll use like a gray yellow, a gray orange, or a gray brown, like if it's high voltage, or we'll use like a or we'll just use like a white blue, white black, stuff like that. And what's funny is we have to bring this up for like a myth one of these times, because I've actually heard some of these guys in their podcast say that if you put a white with a black stripe, it could be considered a code violation because it has to be white or natural gray, and nowhere in the code does it say that. And so I thought that was really interesting to hear that one of these podcasts. These guys, they're just trying to get big fame over there on TikTok and stuff, and get a bunch of likes and get people mad at each other. But it's fun that we could do this, James, and this is a real deal thing that in all actuality, when I first saw it, when I took your 2020 code change class for Colorado, 24-hour for the state of Colorado, I actually thought that you could not use gray anymore. So that's why I really wanted to run this as a myth. And there was people out there that said that, which technically they're correct, that you can't really use it, but they do permit it in the field wiring as long as it's re-identified. And a lot of people, this goes back into one of our episodes where we said you couldn't re-identify anything smaller than number 6.
Correct. And actually, if you go over and look at 410.69, that's where they get in talking about the control conductors and everything. And they're talking about the field connected control conductors. And they tell you here, shall not be of a color reserved for the grounded branch circuit conductor or equipment grounding conductor. And that's where it gets interesting right there, because you've heard me say this many times when they even have the informational note. I've stated before, there's only certain reserved colors in the National Electrical Code. And I said, if you had a grounded neutral conductor, you had white or gray. And if you were dealing with an equipment ground, you had green, or one or more yellow stripes. And so they put this in here to hopefully identify this, so you understand how they're identifying these control conductors here and what the color of the insulation is going to be. And then
I agree with this one here. We always use a 2-conductor cable, red, black, or white, black, or white, whatever, and there's nothing against doing that. So that's a good comment. Appreciate that comment.
No, and that's exactly true. That's why we show these things here, because they want you to know you are permitted to do this. And you, like you said, they had the requirement shall become effective January 1st, 2022. So they were prepping for it and everything. And then we did an illustration here sort of showing what they were talking about and where you were installing these conductors. And we put a bunch of notes in here. So this was the illustration you were looking at in the 2020.
Dude, is that Lemonhead in your illustration? Dude, Lemonhead's in all... Dude, you got Lemonhead in your illustration, bro.
I try to keep him